So today I've come to visit a very important forgotten medieval village in Wiltshire. Not the village of Snap that everybody else thinks about when they think about a medieval village, but the medieval village of Yarnfield. And we're going to have a look at it and see what we get from it. But there's something very, very important and very, very different about this, which I'll go into. This ancient holloway that I'm walking down now would have been one of the main ways into the village. And the village was within the Selwood Forest. Well, it's a rather overgrown path on the way down to here, this holloway, with great big hedges either side, and it's on an estate owned by the Duke of Somerset. And just off of the holloway here, you can see a piece of chert, and chert is harder than flint and was prized by medieval man. This village was in Somerset, so Wiltshire sort of pinched this village by default, really. Just off of the holloway here, another gateway. Get through into this. And you can see some humps and bumps there in the landscape already. And this is part of the lost village of Yarnfield. And the amazing thing is, it was nestled within the Selwood Forest, which means it very well could have been on the route for Alfred the Great, or King Alfred, on his way to the Battle of Ethandun. And I can say that quite confidently because it was mentioned, this village, in the Saxon chronicles of 878. And obviously we have the Battle of Ethandun in AD 878. So they could have come here on their way from the Alfred's Tower area and used this for supplies of one sort or another within the ancient forest. This would have been a clearing, this village here. So we have to imagine it obviously with houses on here and streets. I will put on a LiDAR picture which shows all the humps and bumps in LiDAR definition, but very interesting, and we'll go and have a closer look now. I think everybody has a fascination about the Battle of Ethandun or Eddington, and that's because nobody really knows the exact route that was taken to get there. We all guess on it. We know it was from Glastonbury, and we know that it was then to Eddington, but the actual route and the actual stop-off points and the actual Egbert stones aren't really known. So that's what makes it so difficult. And we can put a bit of dream work in there, but we can look at the things along a possible route and think, well, I wonder. And there's nothing wrong with wondering sometimes, is there? And the sign we all dread whilst coming into a field. There it is. Beware of the bull. And we don't like that one at all. I don't like it. If you do, you're braver than I. So the area we're about to go into, I can't see a bull at the present time. But if suddenly it speeds up and I start to run, you know I've seen one. We're just walking across the field now towards the bottom end of it. We can see these rushes here coming up out of the ground. The holloway split off here, and you can see went one way into the Selwood Forest and then the other way from the spring where we came, and that was the track we came down there. And you can see just all these little plinths and platforms around everywhere, and the stones within the bank as well. So they must have had stone houses of sorts, and you can see more stones on this bank which run down with evidence of trees obviously on there. So it must have been part of a division of the village. Then looking over this way, we can see humps and bumps everywhere again, with Long Knoll, the big hill, in the background. Now we can see under the trees here all these stones which would have been worked. Some are chert and some are just ordinary flints, but there's an example of the chert, and you can see the difference in that compared with other stone in the area. It's got a different colour and texture to it, totally, and was excellent in Neolithic times. And this area here probably dated as a clearing from Neolithic times and right on through until the 14th century, when either dissolution of lands or takeover of lands, or perhaps the plague, but I doubt it, caused this village's demise. Trying to see if I can find anything that looks visibly worked. And it's just sandstone there. It's got some sort of marks on it where it may have been worked. And a major trading village. You see, we're just coming up to another bank over here as well, on the ridge. Must have been important to them, this area, right the way on from Neolithic times until the village actually died out. And was this a battle stop-off point? Or on the way to battle, I should say. Quite possibly, yes. I can't see any reason why not. It was probably in a very strategic position, and a good position from a point of view of a stop-off point on the way towards Eddington. And we can all look at the maps and say, oh yeah, well, I don't think it was that way, I think it was that way, I think it was this way, I think it was that way. It's pure guesswork, like everything else, but just fun to come and see these places. Nothing really to do with history, but I just love the shape of the tree roots on this tree here coming out, offering a little animal haven in there. And on up the tree, I think it's ash tree. Looks like it's got dieback actually. So sat on the roots of this interesting ash tree, what are my thoughts on this? Well, I've come here today because I can see a historical connection between Alfred and this clearing in Selwood Forest that was subsequently a village that was named after where eagles fly. It was Yarnfield or something before Yarnfield. I can't pronounce it correctly, so I won't try. But it's incredible that we have these things still in our area. We have to imagine what they would have been like, yes. But you can see it on LiDAR maps, you can see it in general just in the landscape, and there's nothing to beat that. And to think that this was first recorded in 878, which was the date of the Battle of Ethandun, is just incredible stuff. So with the flies buzzing around me here by this tree, until the next time, thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.